The interstellar adventure you've been dreaming of is actually just another gig economy nightmare with better special effects, and the only way to survive the cosmos is to stop chasing glory and start auditing the fine print. In Ray Guns and Late Fees, Jamie McFarlane delivers a sci-fi comedy that transforms the space opera trope into a hilarious yet poignant exploration of bureaucratic absurdity and blue-collar resilience, proving that in universes defined by corporate overreach, heroism isn't found in laser battles, it's forged in the radical act of reading the terms of service before signing your soul away. This isn't merely another zany space romp with quirky aliens. It's a psychologically precise narrative where every overdue notice feels like both punchline and prophecy. Consent to adventure is negotiated through contractual literacy rather than assumed destiny, and freedom means honoring your labor when the galaxy demands you work for exposure. From the first flickering neon narration, listeners are immersed in a world where bureaucracy is the true final boss and presence is the only valid currency. Perfect for fans of satirical sci-fi and stories where working-class ingenuity defies cosmic indifference, this audiobook serves up atmospheric wit, relentless emotional honesty, and a protagonist whose journey from hapless debtor to sovereign survivor resonates with anyone who's ever been told their worth was tied to their productivity. When freelance courier Jax O'Malley accepts a simple delivery job to clear his mounting late fees, he expects quick credits, not to discover the package contains contraband that triggers a cascade of intergalactic penalties, and the AI dispatcher assigning his routes replicates the exact extractive logic of the Earth-based gig apps that bankrupted him. But as Jax navigates customs checkpoints and existential dread, he realizes this mission isn't about redemption, it's about boundary setting. McFarlane masterfully avoids reducing Jax to bumbling fool or the universe to mere backdrop. Instead, he crafts a narrative where logistics become therapeutic framework, where consent is renegotiated through deliberate refusal rather than assumed compliance, and where liberation requires seeing optimization as violence rather than virtue. The audiobook narration amplifies this emotional precision, capturing Jack's frantic internal monologue softening into genuine clarity while secondary voices shift subtly between predatory efficiency and hidden solidarity, making every docking procedure feel like both test and testimony. You don't just hear him dodge disasters, you feel the seismic shift of a man learning that some debts can only be cleared when you stop accepting the ledger as truth. What elevates Ray Guns and Late Fees beyond typical comedic sci-fi fare is its nuanced portrayal of systemic overload as somatic practice rather than abstract gag. Jax isn't merely surviving absurdity, he's confronting how hustle culture taught him to equate worth with utility, challenging the notion that survival requires endless adaptation. His relationships evolve through acts of radical reciprocity, sharing silences during hyperspace jumps that bypass performance, establishing crew dynamics that protect both operational integrity and psychological safety, and defending allies' right to rest against systems that mistake exhaustion for dedication. Supporting characters add vital texture, fellow couriers whose strategies encode unprocessed trauma, alien bureaucrats whose rigidity reflects institutional precarity, even the ship's AI itself, rendered as living archive whose error logs absorb centuries of unspoken pressure. Every interaction reinforces the novel's core truth. In economies built on extraction, restraint is technique, and presence is the only sustainable resource. Even the sci-fi mechanics serve thematic depth, with fuel calculations mirroring emotional bandwidth, and docking fees becoming metaphors for earned autonomy. For audiobook listeners, this production is an immersive sensory descent into chaotic clarity. The narrator embodies Jack's evolution with remarkable range, from manic desperation to trembling openness during breakthroughs, while supporting characters are distinguished through vocal textures that honor diverse expressions of resilience without caricature. Sound design enhances atmosphere without overwhelming immersion. Distant engine hums marking temporal rhythm, rain against viewport glass during vulnerable confessions, the hushed beep of payment terminals syncing with breath during moments of synthesis, all anchor mythic stakes in tangible reality. Pacing mirrors the cadence of gig work survival, deliberate during reflection and foundational bonding, then surging with urgency as external threats collide with internal awakenings. Whether you're commuting through sedentary routines or moving through active days, the audiobook creates a portable sanctuary where slowness feels sacred and embodiment feels lifeline. It's storytelling as somatic validation, transforming passive listening into active participation in a journey where ascension isn't about rising above limits, but about rooting deeper within them. Ultimately, Ray Guns and Late Fees redefines comedic sci-fi by centering working-class emotional labor within cosmic frameworks. It satisfies genre cravings for satisfying progression and high-stakes tension, while delivering substantive commentary on toxic productivity, identity formation, and the radical act of trusting your whole self when systems demand fragmentation. No prior series knowledge is needed. It stands confidently as a complete emotional odyssey. If you've ever wondered whether strength can coexist with softness, or if true mastery requires embracing what others fear, this audiobook will affirm that sometimes the most powerful act is simply choosing to be enough. Press play, check your balance, and prepare to believe that even in landscapes shaped by access, hearts still find ways to focus. Your next favorite sci-fi isn't waiting in flawless victories. It's waiting in the brave, trembling choice to specialize.